as the live thing here. We're here. All right, it's a free agent frenzy. It may not be the kind of free agent frenzy you like, but the Bengals have done a bunch of stuff. We got a special guest, Bengals Sands, joining us. He's the film room goat. That's what I call him. He can tell us maybe a little bit about some of these guys and what we can get from them. Coming up next on Cincy Unfiltered, I got to find the button.
Yo, boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beer's getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show. Let's go. Boys are ready to go. Boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beer's getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show. Let's go. Boys are ready to go.
That song never gets old. Never gets old. What is up, Cincinnati, the tri-state area, the millions and millions of people watching worldwide? I see you out there in Mumbai. I know you're watching right now. I know it's like midnight, but welcome to the show.
Is that?
It's in India. We are worldwide. Okay,
is that a real place?
Yes, it's India. It's India. So a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, man. Like a ton. Not as much, or to the caliber that we would like to be talking about it. But hey, moves were made. So how are we doing tonight, Drew?
I'm good. You know what? I'm going to get this out of the way early because it's beautiful out where I live. It's 70 degrees. It's sunny. It's not dark now at 7 o'clock, which is wonderful. And you know what that calls for? Oh, that's Lime Garage beer weather. My friend. That's fucking Lime Garage beer weather. So we're going to go ahead and pop that out. Ooh.
Oh, crisp.
That's good.
Crisp, beautiful. It even smells good,
know the deal.
Folks.
You know the deal. DrinkGarageBeer.com, bars, restaurants, gas stations, anywhere near you that has it. Go to DrinkGarageBeer.com, click the beer finder, find that out. Just found out yesterday, Ziggy's, Moraine, Ohio. That's where I watch Michigan, Ohio State with my dad every year.
Okay.
A friend of the family owns the bar. I was like, you got to get garage beer in here. Garage beer on draft, Ziggy's, Moraine, Ohio. Shout out.
That's killer. That's killer because garage beer is nuts. They've got their classic traditional light beer, as you can see right here, right? That beautiful tan can. And then you just saw us crack open the wonderful,
dude,
ever.
It's lime weather, dude.
Ever so crisp Lime Garage beer. Absolutely beautiful. Drew already told you how to find it. DrinkingGarageBeer.com. They have a beer finder, which I think is just a beautiful thing. Go find it. It's probably in a store near you. And I'm telling you, folks, I say this every show. They do keep the lights on here, but we truly do like the beer. So go find out for yourself. What do we got tonight, man?
Well, let's get started with finally getting somebody smart on this show. I think is good.
It's about
for everybody because we're actually morons, as most people know. Lots of stuff popping off in the chat. Love you guys. We're gonna bring somebody on here that can educate you a little bit more. We are two idiots. Mike is not. Mike, how you doing tonight? Bengals Sands on Twitter.
Oh, you muted?
Oh, you were muted.
I had to make sure. I'm not a smart guy. Yeah. Okay. So I showed by muting myself.
You're good at looking smart on the internet.
Well, shit.
Yeah, but doing great. Don't oversell me too much. I don't want to disappoint. I like keeping the bar low, easy across those bars. Easy across the bar when you come in and it's like, oh, this guy's all right. Like, yeah, he was all right.
Well, then you're gonna fit in here. I mean, you know us, we know you. We talk regularly on the internet. It's good to see you face to face here, guys. Sands, you see him on his page, man. He breaks down film. He watches these guys. He knows the game in and out. It's incredibly informative. So what we're gonna do here tonight with Mike, your real name. Sorry to use your government name on here, but we're gonna look at some of these free agent acquisitions that we've taken on, and just talk about them for a little bit. And then whenever Sands is ready to get out of here, he can get out of here. So how do you want to run this train, Drew?
Well, I think the first one, TJ Slaton, was probably the first pop that we got, and my initial reaction was, okay, who the hell's that guy? I saw some information where he was pretty good run stuffer last year. Have you dove into the TJ Slaton film yet?
Yeah. Did not watch him before this. I was like, that's the Packers nose tackle. Watch him. He could defend the run pretty good. He's got good anchor, can handle double teams. I don't think you're getting like DJ Reader, where I thought that was like an elite run defender nose tackle. This is more like does his job. The Bengals didn't have that guy last year to be a do your job nose tackle. Don't think he's going to give you too much above that. He can kind of push the pocket a tiny bit, but there's a reason he didn't really play on third downs. Probably not going to play on too many third downs in Cincinnati. But all in all, I think a useful role player can get him on the early downs. And because teams that like to run the ball, I think of Pittsburgh, think of Baltimore. They didn't have a guy in the middle to take up two gaps, to take on double teams. He could do that. So that's what I think he is. He's like a solid nose tackle.
Okay.
Very large human.
Yeah, big guy.
Massive dude.
That is good to hear because like the whole reader left while TJ doesn't fill it completely, at least we have an archetype in there that'll kind of, fit that mold. So it doesn't necessarily help pass rush, right? And that's kind of something we really, really, really need to address. But with our pass rush woes have come run stopping woes as well. So they're at least addressing it.
Yeah, at least maybe you can get to third and long. There was a fun stat that was like, I think it was 24% of Trey Hendrickson's sacks resulted in the end of a drive, which means they didn't matter. It's like they just picked up the first down anyway. Yeah. So hopefully you get in situations where his sack is on third down, or it at least puts them far behind the chains instead of like an early down sack that they just get out of.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that kind of like you said, we didn't really have that go-to guy. I think McKinley Jackson showed some flashes toward the end of the year, but Slaton's been around a little bit longer. The Montgomery connection too from Green Bay is pretty interesting. So he knows what he's getting, right? So he's going to be able to really be familiar with him and hopefully come in and kind of hit the ground running. DeAndre Hopkins to the Ravens.
Little breaking news there. I guess D-Hop on a 1-year deal to the Ravens. That's great. Hopefully he can limp out there and give him something. But
I thought he was going to retire after.
So did I. So whatever, man. Who cares? But it is good. A lot of people. I mean, the guy was signed, right? TJ was signed, and the tweets went out. Who the fuck is that guy? Who is that guy, right? Like people didn't know who he was because he's not a huge name. But he certainly fills a need on this team. And now this is where you realize that we're idiots here on the show. He was top or first in what statistic now? It was past win rate.
ESPN's run stop win rate.
Okay. All right. And it's something that's not traditionally tracked everywhere, but if you come in with an accolade like that to a team that needs to improve on its run stoppage game, that's a plus. It's a plus. So
let you be a little light in the box too. They weren't able to do that. They had to bring that safety down. Now you can put more resources to defending the pass and be able to still effectively stop the run.
Okay. So it's good. Right. It does stop the run, but there's third and second order effects. You're able to kind of also be more aware of the pass while you have the big body up front. So it's all good.
Yeah. Do you know much about Burks either? Oren Burks, I think is how you pronounce it. I know he filled in for Philly in the Super Bowl run, played pretty well, but didn't play a lot other than that. Is that a guy you've turned the tape on for?
Yeah, I put it on today. Before that, I pretty much just knew the same as you. I was like, I think this is a guy that played for Nakobe Dean in the playoff run. And I remember him. He's pretty good. He's like near 30 years old, and I think he has something like 12 career starts. I don't know if I'm getting all those numbers exactly correct, but it's a very low. He's like a special teamer for most of his career, but then pretty good in that run. I like what I saw, but at the same time, I felt like Zach Bond, their all-star linebacker, was kind of tasked with all the hard stuff, and he got to kind of do a little bit of an easier job, which makes sense. If you're going to have Zach Bond, that's probably what it's like in Cincy too. If you got Logan Wilson, the other guy is probably not going to do as difficult of a job. You look at the deal, you look at his history, maybe this is Akeem Davis-Gaither's replacement rather than it is Jermaine Pratt's. But if he plays up to what he was doing in that Super Bowl run, I think you could make the case this is Jermaine Pratt's replacement because he was the second linebacker on the field. Overall, I think he's solid. I don't think there's like a hidden superstar there. And I just have a tiny bit of hesitancy because he was better on this playoff Super Bowl run than Nick Scott was on that run. But But I also remember thinking like, yeah, Nick Scott was all right during that Super Bowl run. Kind of makes sense to try to do a buy low. I'm like, oh, they're buying low on another Super Bowl run backup that had to be thrust in the starting role.
Yeah, yeah. Now, hopefully, this doesn't turn into a Nick Scott situation.
Right.
But, however, from what I'm watching with him and looking up with him, very athletic, graded out pretty well. Obviously, yeah, ridiculous. Obviously, not the starter in Philly with Nakobe Dean going down, him coming in. But it appeared to me that he served his role well. And I guess my initial thought with him was, Pratt's gone. Buckle up, buddy. You're playing football. You know what I mean? And unless we draft a Jihad Campbell, or somehow they go out and they find another linebacker in free agency, which, I mean, free agency is getting picked left and right. So I don't even know what's left. But in my eyes, I think we're going to see him get some snaps. Hopefully he continues to live up to filling that role and maybe surpasses it. But I think I agree with you. We're not looking at a freak or a superstar here, but hopefully he can play to a high level.
Doesn't miss a lot of tackles either. I don't remember the numbers, but I think he had a pretty low missed tackle rate too.
I think it was a little bit fake just because he's barely played. So like the last 3 years, he's missed 3 tackles. I was like, yeah, he's also like been on the field for 300 snaps. So like it's
fair.
Not bad, but it's also like, let's not expect him to not miss any tackles all year either.
Yeah, we're not
It's
looking
hard
at
to miss more than Jermaine Pratt.
We're not looking at a guy that played like 16 games and only missed, or 2 16-game seasons and 17 now and missed only 3 tackles. The actual window is a lot smaller. I found that out the other day too when we signed him. But overall, I like it. Is it the most sexy signing in the world? No, but you're getting an athletic guy who's coming from a program that just went the distance. So let's see what we can get out of him.
And I think when he was tasked with doing something difficult, he did succeed in it, but he just wasn't asked to do it very often. So it's kind of hard to like parse how good is he. But there were 2 instances in the game against the Rams where he ran and matched Cooper Kupp down the field. So I think that's something that's kind of difficult for a linebacker to do. It happens. And Jermaine Pratt used to be able to do that, not really anymore. So you now have a guy that's athletic enough to be able to do that again. I think that is kind of important.
So
yeah, because I think Golden might do a little bit more 3 linebacker than Lou did too. I don't know if he might still primarily be in the nickel, but I think he had mentioned some 3 linebacker looks when he was doing like his introductory presser.
Yeah, typically just against heavy teams, you have to decide, do you want the extra lineman? Do you want the extra linebacker? It seems like he wants the extra linebacker rather than extra lineman out there.
I like it. Who else we got then, Drew? Let's just keep going down the list real quick.
Really, I mean, external free agents, that's it. And I mean, you can count Semaje Perine coming back from Kansas City, but he's already been here. Really, no other external free agents. Nothing really moves the needle for anybody. I like. It's hard for me to say at this point, day 2 of free agency now that it's hard for me to say the Bengals got better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
definitely.
Like there's really nobody else coming out or that we've gone out and got that most people watching this don't know about already.
Yeah,
right? Cody Ford, Mike Gesicki, BJ Hill, pretty normal stuff. I wish we had more guys to talk about that weren't here last year.
That's what I was saying in the beginning. So obviously Gesicki is great signing, right? I mean, awesome. Love that he's back. The Bengals know how to use him. They use him right. I'm just gonna gloss over him and assume that you agree with that. If not, chime in. What are your thoughts specifically on Perine making his return, Mike?
He's been a great pass protector his whole career. Like that's how he had to kind of make his living in the NFL. And that's important, but that also is probably going to frustrate people at times because when does that happen? 3rd down. And then you might be thinking like, where's Chase Brown? And Chase Brown isn't on the field because they use Perine instead because they're worried about blitzes. So I don't mind it. It's just aging vet. It's such a cheap contract that I don't really care too much. They're probably going to either draft somebody or maybe Khalil Herbert comes back and it's really a competition. What he adds is really just in his pass protection. What he adds as a runner and as a receiver, that's just a bonus to me. I don't know if he's going to be able to put up those 2022 type of performances where he's bouncing guys' heads off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was electric. Absolutely.
He dribbled Justin Reed. That was awesome.
He did it to somebody else on the Titans too, but it was
Oh,
cool.
yeah, I
He used to
can't
be
remember
able
who
to-
that was.
Yeah. Anyway, though, he's a face. I mean, thank God the contract wasn't that Dov Kleiman mistweet, because that was an absurd number for him. We were all scratching our heads on that. But I think the
Oh,
deal
to Tampa?
Yeah, to Tampa. It was ridiculous. We were all like,
23 million.
yeah, like what the
Yeah.
fuck? The fuck
What did
are
he turn
you
that
talking
down
about?
for?
Yeah, right. Nah, I'm gonna take 20 million less to go play for a team I used to play for. But obviously, it's neat to have a guy return to the team. It happened with Von Bell. I mean, it's happened with it's neat. But again, like Drew said, it doesn't move the needle. I still would like another running back. I think Zach Moss should probably make his exit. And we should maybe draft a guy. So that's my thought process on the running back room. Perine is not the answer. Perine is let's protect Joe. I mean, he's a big, stout back compared to Chase Brown, obviously, but you're not going to tote him out there and give him the workload like Chase Brown. So,
do you have any other free agents that are still on the market that you have your eye on for the Bengals, Mike?
I mean, they got to sign guards, right? So
Yeah,
you've got a couple.
I want Tevin Jenkins.
Tevin Jenkins, probably like the number one guy now. My favorite was Will Fries, but he went and he made $17 million. So I guess he was somebody else's favorite too. Let's try to see. I mean, Mekhi Becton. I mean, Jenkins, Becton. Those are like the big name guys. I think they're also going to probably push a lot of money. Like I think they're going to be like Will Fries type deals where it's $17 million per year. And to me, they're both really more average with athleticism and youth to maybe become better than that. If you want probably a lesser deal, but I think that like Will Hernandez has been fine for the Cardinals, and that is kind of an improvement upon what they've been throwing out there. I mean, again, that is the lowest of bars to be able to cross what Kappa and Volson did last season for them. Yeah. But there's guys out there that are better than that. At least getting them in the building would be useful. I think you got to get somebody who is like a medium level starter, which is what I think of with Jenkins and Becton, and they have a chance to be better. Right now, just got to go. They've got their lapses. I think, Risner. That's another guy. They always pass on him though, so I just kind of
every year we talk about him every year.
Yeah, so I kind of ignore that he's out there. But Hernandez, I feel like his technique's a little wonky. I feel like he looks weird when he does it, but he succeeds, so I'm okay with it. You go that for 1,000 snaps. You do that for like 10 snaps, you kind of go like, what's the tower's gonna fall. 1,000 snaps to start thinking like maybe he's cooking something. Zeitler, I think, is another good shout there.
I'm on the Zeitler train heavy. Excuse me.
Bringing him back. I think that's another good sign. There's a couple guards still out there. A lot of teams that need guards. When you think of the Seahawks and the Giants and the Bengals and just O-line play, it seems like there is just such a dearth of talent. Like there's nothing out there. It's a desert, and that's why Dan Moore gave up 4 sacks in a single game in Week 18 against Trey Hendrickson and went and made $21 million a year for the Titans. If you can go out there and look the part, I think you're going to go make some money.
Yeah, there's multiple options out there that are a betterment to this team. So, like in my eyes, I go sign 2. Now, get it done now. Get it done yesterday, and then look at a guy like Ratledge in the draft and just keep building and finally deliver an offensive line that Joe is worthy or Joe deserves. You know what I mean? Because we keep talking about it. It's like, well, they're signing guys. They're making moves. It's like, yeah, great. Orlando Brown's worked out. We hit on Mims so far. Now let's build that interior out and truly have a front offensive line that can protect Joe. I mean, look at Joe's numbers last year with the way Kappa and these guys were playing were absurd. Imagine if he was able to stay upright for plus half of the times he was hit last year. I mean, just absurd. So got to do it.
Yeah. Got to mention Scherf too. When you're talking about those older free agents, I think that's another guy. Just like somebody that can just be a Band-Aid. And
absolutely.
You don't want to go into the draft with needing 2 guards, or even just like, I don't want to personally go into the draft where it's, we got a right guard and then the other one's a Volson and Cody Ford competition. Even like because of the offensive line coach, there's the possibility that you bring in a Jedrick Wills and have him play left guard.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because Scott Peters came from the Browns. I think there's a connection there. I think this would be really cheap because I don't think anybody's interested in him. But that's another one. Like, he's been a below average player. So like worse than Jenkins, worse than really Hernandez, Becton, any of those guys. But when you're looking at young, high draft capital, reclamation project, like that's kind of, to me, when I'm looking across, like who could be the Mekhi Becton next year? And maybe the nobody is the Mekhi Becton next year. But you kind of look at Jedrick Wills and go like, maybe.
Yeah, I like that. I just there's a lot of people that are kind of like, we'll fix it in the draft, sign a guy, fix in the draft. No, sign multiple guys, and then draft a guy. Like I keep mentioning Ratledge. I really like Ratledge, just so the room is full, and then let it work itself out in camp and stuff. You know what I mean? And then you've got a guy that can shine and start, and a couple decent options. You know what I mean? So I just fill the room, let it work itself out, and then build depth from there. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah, Zeitler, Wills, I don't see that as like a deterrent from draft. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're fine, man. Absolutely not. But that's kind of the point I was making. We've got Joe Burrow playing the football he's playing, Jamar Chase playing the football he's playing. It's like I don't want to have to babysit somebody. You know, give me a couple of the older Band-Aid guys, draft a Ratledge, let him compete. You know, I love that idea. Like, definitely don't stop you from drafting a young guy that can be the guard for the next 5, 6, 10 years, whatever. But like, we just don't have time to watch somebody grow up. We've been trying to watch Cordell Volson grow up for 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, if we had a brilliant history of drafting and developing, you know what I mean, I would be more inclined to believe that. But no, we're in win now mode. Like, we've got to be in that mindset. Like, dude, Joe Burrow is not getting any younger, and he is really damn good and deserves to win here. So let's do that. That's how I see it.
Absolutely. Defensively, pretty bare market out there. Like, who's your best edge rusher out there now? Ojolari? Like, I don't think that's coming from free agency now.
No, I mean, try to look across. I'm trying to cycle through. Like, am I missing anybody in free agency? I feel like they're all signed. I feel like everybody's signed.
It's been ridiculous.
So, yeah, I mean, there's guys that you could point to as like, he can rush the passer a little bit. Like some of the older ones. Can Matthew Judon still do that? Can a guy like Dennis Gardeck's a guy that like nobody's ever heard of, but I've liked him for years. He's kind of like the film watcher. He's like one of those guys. Plays for Arizona. Didn't have a ton of snaps last year, but he's 31 too. So it's been a few years that he's been doing this. He'll be on like Brandon Thorne's most underrated list. You watch him, you're like, man, that guy's got power. That is a guy that can actually give you some push on the edge. DeMarcus Lawrence, old as dirt. Probably not. Moving on. That's kind of a Sam Hubbardy type of signing. But Dante Fowler was okay for Washington last year. A lot of these guys, Charles Omenihu was pretty good in the playoffs. I don't think he's very good during the season. And DeMarcus Walker, I think that's a guy that can give you some pass rush for the Bears. Sneaky signing. I think Joe Goodberry had a video, and it was like, who the heck's DeMarcus Walker? It's like, sounds like a Bengal already. We don't know who he is. Yeah, Jacob Martin. Like, there's some guys out there that you can point to. You go like, that guy's probably, at the very least, a third down specialist. Get him out there and give you something, because they're missing that. Even with Ossai coming back, you're hoping for a leap with him or Murphy to be able to give you like an okay second edge rush. I was kind of hoping they'd find a way to sign one of those old guys. And they all kind of went for a lot of money too. So I was like, I get why they're out too.
Well, you obviously you can draft a guy, right? We're drafting at 17. There's the Pierces of the world. There's guys that are in the draft. But again, I'll beat the drum on this. Do not let the draft deter you from signing people. Because right now we're looking at Trey Hendrickson, asterisk, whatever you want to, right? BJ Hill, Joseph Ossai, Miles Murphy, Chris Jenkins, TJ Slaton, McKinley Jackson, Cedric Johnson. Does that sound like a Super Bowl defensive line to you?
No, especially
exactly.
Trey Hendrickson leaving would be like, oh boy, like what is the pass rush anymore?
There's a tweet. There's a Kelsey Conway tweet from 10 minutes ago. The Bengals have interest in free agent guard Tevin Jenkins, a source tells her. Cincinnati has a need at guard and has yet to fill it through the first 2 days of the legal tampering period. We'll see if the interest turns into a deal or not. Some of the, I don't know how to call them this, fan insiders that have popped up in the last couple of years have been saying there's a bidding war between the Bengals and the Giants on that.
The coldest, yeah.
Lots of just casting a wide net, like, hey, the Bengals might do something. And if they do, be like, fucking told you.
Yeah.
But so maybe there's a little bit of smoke to that fire.
My favorite to coldest tweet was something like, the Bengals are interested in a guard and they played him within the last 3 years. It's like, so like the whole fucking league?
Yeah, the entire fucking NFL.
I got to go through and think who have they not played in the past 3 years?
I got some shit about Joe Tooney again today. People haven't let that go.
Yeah.
Dude, I was talking to his sister the whole time.
Yeah.
I digress.
I still can't believe that Tooney trade, but I digress. So lots of holes to fill. Exactly. Yeah. What are you doing? That just seemed like a silly trade. So obviously there's lots of holes to fill on this team, right? Especially if a guy like Trey Hendrickson walks out the door. There's a hole at linebacker if Pratt leaves. People are frustrated with Pratt, but while Pratt has had struggles, him leaving leaves a hole in the linebacking room. Obviously, guard holds the plug. What do you think? And then we'll I don't know, Drew, what else you got? We can give you your time back here, Mike. But what do you think give me 1, 2, 3 consecutive order, 1 being the most important, 3 being a little less important, Bengals needs for this offseason.
Okay. Guard got to be like 1A and 1B.
Okay.
It's a disaster on both sides. I don't want to use that for 1 and 2, but they have no starting guards, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah.
So 2, it's got to be the pass rush somehow. To me, I think they could keep Hendrickson in my brain. So I'll put defensive tackle pass rusher 2 and edge pass rusher 3, but they're about even 2. It's just one of the biggest needs. It's guard protecting Burrow. They had the worst guard tandem in the league last year. And the other side, they couldn't get to the quarterback outside of Hendrickson. So those are the 2 biggest needs to me. I think corners will look a little better with that. And on the other side, the offense will be even better and Burrow taking even less hits if they can get some guards around him.
Seems like a no-brainer, right? I mean, if you keep 9 upright, good things happen. So I don't know. What else do you got for Mike, Drew? And then we can let him have the rest of his night back.
Yeah, we've had you for almost a half hour, man. Taking up way too much of your Tuesday. I just got one question. Larry Ogunjobi, yes or no?
I think no, because they're only doing 1 more defensive tackle. And if I'm doing 1 more, I think if they signed him instead of BJ Hill, I'd be interested, although I think Hill's probably a better player. Ogunjobi's probably cheaper. I don't know. I'm kind of on the no on that side because I do want them to draft one. This draft is very deep at defensive tackle, whether they do that in the first round with Walter Nolan or they go later in the rounds with Peebles or one of these pass rushers. Peebles.
His name. I'm sorry. His name.
It doesn't strike fear in his opponents.
I'm sure his parents are wonderful, but if you look at your child at birth, and I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, and you name him Anus Pebbles, Pebbles, I'm sorry. It's just every time I look at it, I'm like, this is going to look ridiculous on a jersey. But keep talking. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, my guy's Jamari Caldwell anyway. I'm hoping for a Jamari Caldwell. I call him the flying meatball. Got short arms. He's about 330 pounds wide, and he can move. He can rush. So I'm into that. I'm into them signing or drafting any defensive tackle, but I think I'm out on them signing a guy unless they can find a pass rusher that wants to be here for cheap.
Yeah, they need I feel like they really need a 3 tech is probably the most pressing need now.
Yeah. BJ Hill can play that, and Chris Jenkins can play that, but they don't have a guy that's like Geno Atkins. They don't have a guy that's like a really good pass rusher from that spot.
Crazy. A lot of holes, a lot of needs, not as aggressive in the offseason as we would have hoped, but I feel like we have that fucking conversation about this time, every free agency, day 2. What's going on? Come on. Well, Mike, we really, really appreciate your time here. Go ahead and plug yourself. Everybody knows Bengals fans, but I know recently your show unfortunately has dispersed. You're probably headed to a new awesome adventure. What do you got going on? Plug yourself and we'll get you out of here.
Check out the Twitter, Bengals_Sands. Everything goes up there. If you're not on there now, just check out SI Bengals Talk. Podcast, rest in peace. If you want to listen to old episodes, It's Always Game Day in Cincinnati. Till further notice. But thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, brother.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Have a good rest of your night.
You too. See ya.
Good stuff, man. Smart guy. Smart human being.
Smarter than us. Yeah, he's good.
Yes,
Watching film.
yes.
I wish I had time watching film between my job and raising all 75 of my children. I don't have time to sit down and watch film. So we talked about the free agents, right? We have graphics for these guys. I still think we pop them up, so people can, get to
I worked hard on those, dude.
Yeah, we're still going to pop these graphics up. We're still going to talk about them a little bit more. Let's just dive right into that, and then we can just collectively cry about T. Higgins. Sound like a plan?
It's gotta happen, right? But yeah, they did bring back your twin there, Gesicki, 3 years, 25.5. 12 million of that in the first year. Goodberry, shout out to him on hitting 100,000 Twitter followers. But he was like, why the hell are they making his 1 year cap hit so damn much?
Yeah, he was talking about it. Rapine was talking about it. Lisco was talking. Everybody was talking about it. Why the hell is this front loaded when we've got other things we need to take care of? I don't know.
They'd be like, look, we spent to the cap. We told you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know why they structured it that way. I'm not going to pretend to be Andre Parada here and know how these fucking contracts work. Do I think it's dumb? Yes. Ultimately, am I going to forget about it by week 1? Yes. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm glad Gesicki's back. They use him right. He catches the ball. It enhances Drew Sample's role of blocking and earning you money every football game with at least one tutty. So, love that.
Not profitable last year. It was profitable the year before. Not profitable that last year, but we'll bounce back next year. We ain't fucking stopping. I know that. And then BJ Hill comes back, which is one that I was glad to see. This happened during the Twitter outage. Did you see that, dude? They said it was a cyber attack from another. I just dropped shit. They said it was a cyber attack from another country. Yeah,
that happens more often than you'd think, actually. But this one was extensive.
If your country is going to take down Twitter on free agency day, I think we should fucking invade.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know who it was, but I think if you fuck with Twitter on that day of all days, we should just fucking boots on the ground.
Act of war. Send the Marines in, send special forces, supplant.
Get your ass over there.
I'll do it. Okay. You want to mess with my free agency? We will topple your nation and install our own government. That's exactly. And Joe Burrow will be emperor or king, whatever title he decides. So I agree with you, though. BJ Hill here. I love seeing him back. I want more. That's going to be a consistent message that you're going to hear out of me. I want more. Yes. But BJ Hill's a good player. He served us well. He's gotten some sacks. He's gotten in there and made his tackles. And I also am fine with the deal. So he's also a pretty damn good locker room guy. Like, very funny. I mean, look at this goofball laughing in this picture, right?
I love it. We turned Billy Price into 6 years of BJ Hill.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be one of the better trades in franchise history. I mean, absolutely. I like Billy Price too. Billy Price did not work out for us, did not work out in the league, but I've had beers with Billy Price. Billy Price is a nice guy, but I'm much happier with BJ Hill on the team.
Billy Price fucking stunk. All right.
Yeah.
And so does that mean I can get on Twitter and be like, never draft any Ohio State players? Look what happened with Billy Price.
Well, they'll answer you with Sam Hubbard, but you see me in the trenches as a Bearcat, right? You see me in the trenches saying, this is a stupid message. Michigan players can play in the NFL. Like, just shut up. Like, I hate that so much. They let the Ohio Stateness blind them.
Happens to the best of us. Then moving on, we did hit on him. TJ Slaton, your run stuffer coming over from the Packers. Like I said, he's got the relationship with Montgomery. And this is what we were talking about from Jake Lisco. He said that TJ Slaton led the NFL in ESPN's run stop win rate in 2024. So that is obviously good. And then we brought back maybe every lady's favorite player.
Ooh.
Big dog, Big stepper, number 61, Cody Ford, back on a 2-year deal. I think it was 2 years, $6 million. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I was overly positive about this to the point where I think people thought I was fucking around.
Yeah.
But this is a legitimately good signing. I know that I like to
Yes.
troll the drunk chicks from Tin Roof that had their pity party for TT and all that bullshit.
Shell
But
out $30 for a picture.
yeah. While she's
and it-
cheering for the Bengals losing. Yeah, fuck it. But
It's
he
a good
can
signing.
play 4 positions on the line. Zach Taylor said it last year. We all, the people that are here for the football and not the TikTok, saw it. He can play 4 positions on your line at short notice. He played both left and right tackle last year. He played a lot of left guard. He took over for Volson at left guard until Orlando Brown Jr. kind of re-aggravated that fibula injury, and he had to go back to left tackle. But he is a guy that is good to have in your locker room because in the middle of the game, if somebody gets dinged up, you can confidently put him in there at 4 spots. He's probably not a guy you want starting a whole season, but he is a completely valuable person to have in the offensive line room just because he can do so much for you. And he was the third tackle in all the heavy packages too.
Yeah, 100%. And he's coming with an attitude now of, I'm going to compete for a starting job. Do I want him to have the starting job right now? No, I don't. I want him to be the Swiss Army knife backup that if somebody needs a breather, Cody, go out there, block. You know what I mean? Like he can fill in at multiple positions, and I absolutely love it. And the fact that he has an attitude of, I'm going to fight my ass off to start, that's a guy you want on the roster. I don't really give a shit what you think about his old girlfriend or fiance, whatever they were. He's a good signing, and I'm glad Cody Ford is returning.
Yeah, I don't care if he got some strange. You know what I'm saying? Like he can play football at a pretty good level. Yeah. And if you think about what he went through last year, playing all those positions while dealing with a breakup, that's a fucking warrior in my eyes.
Adversity. We're gonna get canceled for this. I love.
Malik is saying that the Tevin Jenkins interest is real. Now, as you're scrolling through your Twitter timeline and everybody with their eye emojis and they know this and they have a friend at Kroger and all this, Malik is a guy that you can trust. When Malik says something, there's weight behind it. So I'm glad to see that he's saying that the interest in Tevin Jenkins is real. He's probably the best guard prospect left. We need guards. Let's go ahead and get that done. Fuck the Giants.
Yep, love it. Absolutely. And you can trust
TT fans come and take over. I ain't scared, John. I ain't scared, Johnny Pop.
You know what I think of TT fans?
Second of the season. And the Bengals go up again.
That's what I think.
The Kroger joke will never get old. Yeah. I remember last year, Joe Burrow's girlfriend works at Kroger, and a guy at Kroger heard that we were getting Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That we all knew deep down that was not happening, but like there was a lot of shit flying around where I was like, wait, is this gonna fucking happen?
Like, I knew it was never happening, but I was fanning the flame.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Quick shout out to you guys. We're over 1,300 viewers on all platforms on a random Tuesday night. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the stream.
Yeah, do it.
Like the stream, not the screen. Like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't. Send it to your friends, ruin their night. We appreciate all of you being here, spending your Tuesday with us. Watch your mouth about TT fans. Yeah, my wife spent $30 to be in the same room as that fucking lady.
Quick little answer here. NFL clips. Yes, both Drew and I would love if Mike Hilton came back. Do we think it's going to happen?
Yes.
Probably not. Wait,
his market. They were talking like $11 million a year from Mike Hilton, and that hasn't materialized. I haven't heard hardly anything on Mike Hilton. I think it could be a situation where his market isn't what he thought he would get, and he can come back kind of a la Jermaine Pratt a few years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't think it's completely impossible.
Mm-hmm. I like it. What else you got?
And then
Perine grab.
We got a 1-year, $7 million extension for Joseph Ossai. Holy shit. We got a deal done with David Mulligetta.
Oh, I thought you were about to break some news. Yeah, we did, man.
No.
Hell yeah. I like Ossai coming back. Is he a world beater? No, but he's a solid player, and hopefully will continue to grow. He faced adversity, obviously, in that first year where the refs decided that he absolutely committed homicide on Patrick Mahomes as he was leaving out of bounds, and he's bounced back from that and improved. So let's go. 1 year, $7 million. Let's do this.
Shout out Greg. Gregor's here. He's going to go down to Kenwood Mall, see if he sees Tevin Jenkins walking around. Appreciate that. We need somebody boots on the ground. You can be our Kenwood Mall correspondent. If you see anything, let me know. We'll bring you on live from the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it.
Drew got me too, Ron. I don't know what that means. Oh, he thought I was breaking news.
Yeah,
no. We got a deal done with David Mulligetta, but I like Ossai coming back too. He's young. I think he's just now 25.
Yeah.
He had 5 sacks through the last 7 games of the year last year. Started to make an impact. He's young. He's hungry. This is a prove it deal. Yep. I like it. I think he's going to have an increased role this year with Hubbard gone. Who knows what's going to happen with Trey still at this point? So I'm a fan of Joseph Ossai coming back.
Yep, all for it. All for it.
Shook his hand at a Cyclones game, and it just felt like a guy that was sticking around for another year.
Cyclones fan, proven Cyclones fan.
He was, BJ was at the Cyclones game with us that night. Big Cyclones guy. You gotta love it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then as we hit on a little bit, Semaje Perine came back. Shout out Jennifer. She's probably really excited. She has me blocked. But
who's Jennifer?
You remember when that lady tweeted out the birth time, weight, length, and every detail of Semaje Perine's kid?
Oh man, yeah, I forgot about that lady. Yeah, interesting stuff. But we already talked about Perine, man. It's glad to have you back, buddy. Hope you like blocking. So he can catch though. I mean, maybe we throw him the ball. I don't know.
And then 2 years, $5 million for Oren Burks. Got a cool Instagram name. I can't remember it, but I followed him.
Cool one.
It's like Bang Time Burks or something. It sounds like a linebacker.
Really fucking cool. I think that this Burks signing is going to pay out. Like my prediction out of the signings that we've made so far, I think that Burks is going to come in and people are going to watch him play football and go, whoa, that guy's really athletic. Holy shit, he can tackle. And I just have a good gut feeling about that. Now, is that going to mean anything? No, it means absolutely nothing. He could come in and absolutely stink. But for some reason, my gut feeling is that Burks is going to come in and play really well for us.
Got to go with your gut sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. So something that I kind of want to talk about.
Oh, boy.
How in the fuck is tomorrow the official start of the new league year, but Monday really was?
Yeah.
How in the fuck can this front office go in to the start of the new league year with 0 resolution for Higgins, Hendrickson, or Chase? How in the fuck is it possible? How are you going to sit on your hands and then let DK Metcalf get $33 million a goddamn year? And you're just like, oh, well, we're going to attack the offseason with everything we got, And Duke's talking about this plan and all of this shit, and we've got fucking nothing. I'm very frustrated by it. This front office is waiting, and the market is just getting higher and higher and higher. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, negligence, failure to take proper care in doing something. Some of these accidents are due to negligence, failure to use reasonable care, resulting in damage to their reputation here, right? Negligence.
Dictionary.
Negligence. At this point, that is the only word that is coming to my frontal lobe, which isn't very big, I don't use it as much as the average person probably, but that is the only word that comes to mind. Negligence. It's absolutely negligible that Trey Hendrickson is upset. Look, I'm worried that this Trey Hendrickson, I can't talk, I'm so sorry, that this Trey Hendrickson situation is going to snowball to a point where he sits out, where he's like a holdout. I'm concerned that that's where that's going to lead. T. Higgins, I at the beginning of the end of the offseason, or goddamn, I can't talk. At the end of last year's season, when we were working towards vacation time in the offseason, I was like, hell yeah, they're signing T. 99% chance. There's no fucking way we're going to stretch this out. I'm at 65% now. I don't know if T. Higgins is going to happen. I have concerns. And if T. Higgins doesn't get signed and he plays on the tag and walks, I don't know how I will be able to watch the football. I'm going to. I'm talking shit. I love the
Gross.
Bengals, but I just don't understand this. Like, I do not get it.
Now, I don't think Jamar Chase is like all that motivated to get it done right now. So
No.
like that one, I
Yeah.
give him a little bit of a pass on.
Yeah.
They've got 2 years of franchise tags for him if they need it. But like
Oh my God.
so much has happened with this T. Higgins thing. He changes his agent. All of these things. You could have had this dude for like $25 million last year if you wanted to. And now DK Metcalf's getting 33. It's like what the
everybody's numbers have popped, dude. Everybody's. T is 33 to 35. Jamar is 41, 42, 43 now. Like, I mean,
he's got to beat Myles Garrett now because Duke was like, we're going to make him the highest paid non-quarterback. And then Myles Garrett's like, I'm never playing here again. I want to win. They're like, what about $40 million? He's like, fuck it. I don't want to win. I'll take it.
All right. Yeah, Cleveland's not that bad. Yeah, no, but seriously, like sitting on their hands has cost them millions and millions and millions of dollars at this point. I mean, Duke Tobin opened his mouth and said, we're going to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Like now Duke is probably like, why the fuck did I say that? You know what I mean?
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah. Why did I say that? You know, but we looked at Duke talking to the media and stuff, and you and I sat on this program and said, I'm fired up. I really think that the attitude and the aura around this Bengals front office is changing, and screw me once, screw me twice, screw me three times. We're sitting here with three superstars without renewed contracts that absolutely deserve new contracts.
We got fucking Fire Festival, dude.
Oh, really? Seriously. Absolutely.
Ryan Sparks says that DK is getting 30 average annual value. So I saw a 5-year extension for $150 million. I'm like $30 million a year. And then people were like, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about because the last year of his deal plus this, blah, blah, blah. I don't fucking know. 30 to 33. Some people say 30. Some people say 33. I don't know. I thought 30 at the beginning and everybody told me I was a big dumb dipshit. So I don't.
Either way, it has absolutely raised the cost of T. Higgins. Like, it's just, I don't know. And people are like, DK's he's a head case and he's washed. I tell you what, it doesn't matter when it comes to money, guys. Like these guys are like, that guy's getting paid that. I think I'm better than him. Agent, I'm better than him. Go broker me a better deal than him. They don't give a shit. Yep. You know what I mean? Money does not give a shit how good a player on another team is if their contract is significant. So
absolutely. He's
Drop
back.
Let's do it.
He's back. Typical Mike Brown bullshit with T. Higgins from Dad. Now, we were sold on it was different because Katie and Troy are running the show now. Mike's chilling in the office eating tapioca pudding and shit. Ugh. Katie and Troy are running it. It's different. And it feels like the same shit. I almost feel like such a fucking dumbass for all the times I was on the internet trying to defend everything. And it's different. It's different. People talking shit is different. And now we're looking at the same fucking situation. Like, you have to know you can lower T. Higgins' cap hit by extending him before the new league year starts and have a better plan for where you can spend this money.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not different, man. It is. It's typical bullshit. And on the text from Dad Alert, I'm going to give a big shout out to the old man. Came home from the hospital, has not smoked a cigarette since. Dog status. Just said, fuck it, I'm done with him. Love to see it. Proud of you. I love you, Dad.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, we've met the front office. I've met Katie. I've met Elizabeth. Fans have met. Other fans have met Katie, have met Elizabeth. She's come to tailgates. She's sat in the crazy canopy or whatever. And for the last few years, that Super Bowl run on, a lot of awesome changes have happened to the stadium. Cool new marketing shit. The lights, it's all awesome. But like, you put lipstick on a fucking pig, it's still a pig. You know what I mean? And right now, we have all this cool new shit, but we still are not willing to pay people and running the organization like in the 1980s. Like, I, as people, never want to insult them, right? I don't go that far because they're people, they're doing their job. They're not doing it how we want them to do it, and I'm calling them negligent. But none of that shit matters.
The
when you
stadium
can't sign people and we're missing the playoffs 2 years in a row. Like none of the lights, none of it matters. None of it fucking matters if the product on the field is not good. You won a lot of fans back to this organization with Joe Burrow and these changes because we were successful. And there are fans that are fans of this team because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. If you refuse to pay stars around Joe Burrow in, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 years, that guy's gonna say, I'm done. I need to go to another organization because it's not going to work here. You know, I wouldn't blame him. I would not blame him. However,
heart can't take it.
I agree. However, this is all fixed if they pay these guys, right? Pay these guys and we start winning and things work. But if Trey walks, T somehow escapes, and Jamar Chase's contract lingers, you know, and we don't pay him as quick as he should be paid, and God forbid it stretches out into a back and forth and we end up tagging Jamar Chase or something. Now, guys, I'm catastrophizing, okay? Stay with me. We end up tagging Jamar and trying to work through a deal through a season. Joe's not going to want to stay here. He's not going to want to stay here. I'm sorry. That is full panic button hit, guys, right? That is years ahead, right? But it's just they're laying the groundwork for some bullshit like that to end up happening, and I don't want it to happen.
I'm not going to let him go.
Yeah.
I won't. I refuse.
Oh my God.
I will not let you go.
I hate it. The front office is a problem at this point. Good people, maybe not so good at running the team right now, or at least decision-making around running the team. And it's very frustrating.
I have the utmost respect and belief in Elizabeth Blackburn. I really, really do.
But she can't do it alone.
She can only do as much as they will allow her to do.
Yeah.
Like you've heard Whitworth talk about it, you know, when he did his interviews, like the contracts are Katie and Troy. Duke even, like I'm starting to wonder if Duke was when he went to the combine, he said that almost to put pressure on them for himself.
Mm-hmm.
More so than like we're lockstep in a plan and we're going to attack it. Maybe he was like, yeah, we got to get this shit done. Maybe he's trying to put some pressure on them too, because like at the end of the day, it has to go through Katie and it has to go through Troy. So maybe that was it. Maybe we interpreted what Duke said wrong.
Yeah. What the fuck are they doing? Like why? How do they sit down? I'm not a contract guy. Like I don't get it. I don't work.
I'm not
contracts. Either. Like I've never been in finance or anything like that. But like you look at the Eagles and they're paying all these guys. You look at Buffalo this offseason. You look at Minnesota this offseason, shelling out contracts left and right. Like what are those two doing sitting at the table going, he won the Triple Crown. Let's lowball him. T. Higgins availability issues. Okay. Absolutely, crucial guy for Joe Burrow when he's on the field. Let's lowball him. Like what the fuck are we doing? Oh, Trey Hendrickson, sack king, literal sack king, trending upwards. But he's close to 30. Let's lowball him. Like it's so insulting.
I want to see this team do what the Rams did to beat us in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Push all your chips in the middle of the table. Mortgage your future. Go into debt. Whatever the fuck you have to do, because if you do that, if you truly slap your nuts on the table and say, I am all in on winning a Super Bowl, I believe with my entire heart that Joe Burrow will deliver that for you. He will. If we have to suck for 5 years after that, so be it. The Rams didn't even suck that bad. They were down for a couple years and they were right back in the playoff hunt. That's what this organization needs to do. You have the best quarterback in the NFL on your team right now. Also, they have fucking nobody to pay next year. If you look at like the free agent crop in 2026, Cam Taylor-Britt's probably the biggest name on it, and they're not sure if he's going to bounce back yet or not. I think he will, but you don't know. So trade the draft picks for the proven guys. Who gives a fuck, dude? They're losing sleep because they didn't get any comp picks today. They're tossing and turning because they didn't get their precious fucking comp picks. Throw it all in the middle of the table. Go get us a fucking ring, and we'll deal with whatever comes afterwards.
Dude, I will go 0-17 in 2026 or 7 or whatever if they deliver us a championship this year. Like I swear to God, on my life, dude, mortgage a year and a half of the future. I don't fucking care. If I get to go to a Super Bowl parade in Cincinnati and watch Joe Burrow, who deserves it more than anybody in the NFL, in my opinion, hold up a Super Bowl trophy, get hammered, high five fans, party with the boys. I don't care. Yeah, exactly. Make it fucking happen. And I love this quote, Rams GM, fuck them picks. If we got to trade picks and bring in superstars, I don't care. Get rid of them. Bring people in and win. Deliver reasonable but good contracts to these guys that go out there and go to war for you 17 times a year. It's we just operate so close to the chest that it's gotten to a point where like it's insulting. We all shat on Carson Palmer when he was talking shit about the front office. We got upset with Whitworth when he was talking about the front office. When CJ Uzomah left and he kind of, out the door was like, I like CJ. I consider CJ a friend. But like when he said a little bit of stuff on Bussin' with the boys, no free ads, shout out Taylor Lewan and Will Compton, people were angry. But maybe it's time to start going. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, Carlos Dunn, 5, 6. Like, there's a consistent message about the front office when these guys leave and they don't have to toe the party line. There's a fucking problem, people. There's a problem.
And the only people who can fix it are up there in the box and the suits. We can bitch about it on the internet. Yeah. We can do our show. We can make tweets. We can do all of that shit. But it only changes with them. And God's honest truth, I hate to say this about the Brown family because they are good people at heart, I believe.
Wonderful people.
They have done great things to keep football in Cincinnati.
Hell yeah.
All of these things. But like, if you don't have what it takes to take the keys to this fucking sports car that you have in Joe Burrow and drive it, give them to somebody else.
Yeah, sell it. We're not to a sell the team Bob point yet. Like, right?
I'm not right fucking
yeah, I know, but it's just I think I said this like 6 months ago on a show when we were like, what do you want them to do this offseason? It's like, what would you do as a GM or what would you do as an owner? As an owner, like, I would have my wife worried at the end of each month. Like, dude, you're kind of spending a lot of the money. Like, I would have our bank accounts, like, near the fucking red line, like, spending money. Like, I would be firing out contracts, fucking emptying the checkbook, going and getting guys. Like, I don't give a shit about being rich. I want to win fucking football games. That would be my attitude.
Absolutely. The money's there. Spend it now, Dad says. And that's true.
Yeah.
It's like they have everything that they need. We can talk about the cash fluidity of the Bengals. I don't fucking know, man. Like, nobody knows how much cash these people have on hand. They just know that Jimmy Haslam's in Cleveland. He's got money because he's been scamming fucking truck drivers forever. But, like, you would have to imagine that they probably do have a cash flow problem. And the fact of the matter is, Trey Hendrickson wants guarantees, Jamar Chase wants guarantees, T. Higgins wants guarantees, and all of the guaranteed money, whatever that total number is on every contract, you have to immediately take and put into an escrow account. You have to have that liquid cash.
Mm-hmm.
And to that, I say, okay, the Bengals are the Browns family's only business. You know that Jimmy Haslam's been scamming truck drivers at Pilot J forever.
They have like $4 billion, though. Like, I don't.
That's their net worth.
It comes with like liquid and non-liquid assets. I get it, but like if you're a person, and I'm not arguing with you. Sorry if that's coming off that way. If you're telling me that your net worth is $4 billion, that means it's not that damn far off liquid, probably. It probably is. But you have money. You're rich. People want to win. And you know how you get more fucking money for your team? You win football games. Sponsors want to work with you. People want to give you money. The city is proud, and the city's willing to chip in and do things that make things more cost-effective for you as an organization. But they don't even want to fucking win, it seems like. So it's just – and they want to win. They're fucking cheap right now, and it sucks.
But you know what else just got passed in the NFL? The Bengals
What?
were the only team to vote no on it. But you can sell up to 10% of your team to a private equity firm.
Yeah.
Now, I know the Bengals voted against it, but if you don't have the cash, I bet you there's somebody out there with a bunch of fucking money that wants to say, I own 10% of the Bengals and Joe Burrow's the quarterback. I'll piss money at it.
Yes.
And I can fucking hang out on my yacht and tell this 25-year-old chick from Scandinavia that I own a football team.
Yeah, I'm
You know
on
what I mean?
rec-
Like somebody
Yeah.
out there will fucking do that.
that
Somebody
was
will bankroll a team with Joe Burrow on it. So just go that fucking route if you have to.
that was like around after the Super Bowl season. I remember, and I'm on record as saying that I did not want that to happen. Like I believe I said it on this show. Like I'm against it. I'm 180, bro. Get someone in there to infuse cash into this fucking organization so that I don't know, you guys can relax. Like I don't know if it's like penny pinching and they're worried about the money. I don't know what it is, but fuck, I don't know. Drink a garage beer, relax, let some more money come in and fucking pay your players their worth, man.
We've got some suggestions. 10% to Elon.
Fuck it, go for it.
10% to George Clooney or that 98-degree dickhead. I believe that's Nick Lachey.
Yeah.
But yes, man, like I'm not trying to make this like a Michigan football thing, but like with NIL, Larry Ellison, the owner of Oracle, which is like the largest fucking cloud. He's like the second richest guy in the world.
Yeah.
He bankrolled Michigan getting Bryce Underwood because like his Asian wife that is way younger than him wants Michigan to be good at football.
Yeah.
Like there are people with money that have fuck it money that would be like, I could say I'm part of the team that Joe Burrow's on. And look what I did. I brought the city of Cincinnati a champion. Like if you don't want to do it. They never wanted to change the name of the stadium. You know, they said that it was always going to be Paul Brown Stadium. Mike Brown said, my dad would know that I was doing what was best for the team, probably to pay Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably something the family would puke at the idea of. I understand it. They want to keep it. But like, this is a different world. I don't think Paul Brown ever saw the NFL world getting to this.
No.
These are billion-dollar franchises. We can't run them like fucking Pappy's General Store anymore. We just can't do it.
It's so sad to think that they probably changed the stadium's name just so we could pay the quarterback. Like, it's just like, like, are we broke? Like, are we? People say,
defended.
Yes, people call us broke and cheap all the time. Like, are we? Like,
We got an
you know
F
what I
in
mean?
nutrition.
It's insane. And you're treating the families bad, like an F in the family treatment. Like, what is going on? What is going on, dude? Like, I don't.
We still doing fucking Salisbury steak in the cafeteria? What are we like? It's fucking nutrition, dude. Their body is their tool for their job. Feed them good food.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And we've said it time and time again. It's like everyone I've met in the front office, it just seems like such a wonderful person. And I have nothing bad to say about them, but is it that they just don't have the money? Are they cheap? Like, what? I don't know what it is. Like, it's just, and it's so frustrating to deal with it every off season, and it's frustrating to try to defend it too. Cause like we get into, go ahead.
My bad. He makes a good point. If you know the history of Paul Brown, you understand why they're so conservative. When he started the team, he had to fight to keep control because he did. He's like, I'm fucking out of Cleveland. I'm gonna start, but like, it's not that anymore.
No, so fucking what? Boo hoo. Boo fucking who? The NFL is a gajillion-dollar organization now. There's we beam games up to satellites and they're watched world fucking wide. We've got robots and AI and shit. Like, dude, it's not fucking Paul Brown in his hat coaching the boys. Let's go in on Sunday. No, bro. Like, welcome to the future. Let's get with the fucking times.
Some rich dude's trophy wife definitely wants to meet Joe Burrow. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Paycor did get bought out. I don't know what that means for the stadium deal. Paycor did get bought out by Paychecks.
Paychecks is so bad.
Stadium?
If they fucking change the name to Paychecks, that's going to suck. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, Paycor was hard enough. But I don't know, man. It's just it's very disappointing to me to hear what Duke Tobin said at the combine and be 3 weeks, almost a month in, and we don't have anything done. And the new league year starts tomorrow.
It's just scary.
It basically started Monday anyway. It's very disheartening. And like, how does this team get better now? Duke said, I don't want to pay more money for the same team. Well, you haven't done enough in free agency, probably because you got to figure out what the fuck's going on with these three guys first. So you couldn't go out and get any of the big name free agents. So you're going to pay more money for the same fucking team now. And you better hope to God Al Golden gets this defense to just average level. So a couple of these, one score games go our way instead of the opposite like last year. Like I don't know what other fucking position you can be in now.
Yeah. And everyone's laughing at us. Like truly, like, and I would be too. Like I mean,
everyone can't defend it anymore.
No, everyone's pointing. This is probably the most aggressive rant that I've ever gone on about this team. Like I try to publicly. I try to defend them. I try to defend them all the time because at the end of the day, I love the Cincinnati Bengals. They are a massive part of my life, always will be. Love them to death. But I'm at a breaking point, dude. Like I truly, as a fan, not Bangalorean, the fucking social media idiot that tweets about it all the time, but even as a fan, as Ron, the fan, I am so beyond frustrated with the lack of what seems to be awareness and just aggressiveness and the negligent. Like I am so frustrated right now, dude.
Yeah, people get all mad at, guys like fucking McAfee for making jokes about them like walking across the street to practice. But like when you really break it down, like why the fuck is Joe Burrow walking across the street to get to practice?
That's fucking build a goddamn skywalk. That's bullshit. I agree.
We had a fucking forerunner almost run T. Higgins over last year. Like when you really God. I like people know I watched that show a lot and I was like going back at him and Tone Diggs and shit. But like really when you think about it, when you have that happen, and they're like, oh, they're shitting on the Bengals. Yeah, but like if you go out and give T. Higgins his big fucking contract and keep Trey Hendrickson happy and sign Jamar Chase, we'd be like, yeah, fuck you guys. We walk across the street to practice, blah blah blah. But like we paid our guys, we kept our studs, we're ready to go. But now it's like, man, all that shit people are talking about, it's hard to fucking defend because they're sitting there with their thumb up their ass with a Triple Crown winner, a fucking top 15 receiver at least in the NFL, and then the sack leader sitting here saying, what the fuck's up with me next year? It's getting harder and harder to defend.
Yeah, it really is. It is.
They're not going to play this episode in the hallways of 1K4 Stadium.
No.
But it's real, dude.
We've surpassed an hour. We can only rant for so long. And again, I do think publicly that is the most aggressive most aggressive, frustrative rant I've ever gone on about this team because I'm typically a homer, but I'm pissed. You're pissed. A lot of this fucking fan base is pissed. And honestly, we deserve better and the players deserve better. So
I don't want to imagine a world where Joe Burrow says, I don't want to be here anymore.
We will never recover. I am saying this right now. If Joe Burrow leaves, this franchise and this city will never fucking be the same again. Never be. I would probably
just get on here and just cry. To the world. Like, who was that guy? Like, leave Brittany alone! That would be me, but like, leave Joe Burrow alone!
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
People are saying this getting harder to keep my season tickets. If people want to get rid of their season tickets, I just find a way to transfer them directly.
Yeah, I'm still going to go. I'm still going to go. I enjoy drinking beer with my friends and watching football, and this is my team in my city, so it's fuck.
I honestly, like I said that on Twitter. Somebody was like, you need to boycott this team. I was like, I'm never going to boycott this team. Never. Maybe I'm part of the problem.
Yeah, no, I love this team so much. And that's a part of the reason that we're so frustrated, man, because we love this team and we want to see it do well. It's just people up top are just not fucking doing their job correctly.
This is a fair statement from Slick, 1981. Sure. It takes 2 to sign a contract. Maybe Chase and Higgins are waiting, but like Chase, sure, but I feel like Higgins is ready to sign a deal. I feel like he's ready to get all this shit behind him. The franchise tags, this and that. He's made moves that makes it pretty clear that he wants to be. I think that if they just came with the right number, with the right guarantee, he would sign it. That's just my personal belief. I'm not an insider.
Well,
You
just
got to make that clear this time of year.
Hey, tease agent, what fucking gets this done? What gets this done? And if it's not fucking insane, let's run it. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. All right, we're well past an hour. We're almost at 2,000 people watching across all platforms. That's wonderful to see. If you're on YouTube, smash the like and subscribe. But all the fucking nerdy YouTubers say, give us a follow. We hope you enjoy it. We love you guys. You're the reason that we do this. If we didn't have you, I don't know. We'd still be texting back and forth, bitching. But this is a lot more fun way to do it. So I got nothing left but a who day.
Yeah, and if anything big breaks and life allows us to, we'll jump back on here for instant reaction. If a big contract gets signed or something like that,
I'm available.
If life allows it. Ron's got 75 kids. I've got one kid and just endless fucking housing projects around this fucking place, dude. Just endless. Here we go.
Yep.
Come on, front office. Get out there and go fucking crazy somehow.
Your boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go. Our boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go.